Guys, Tom here. How's everybody doing tonight? Sorry, I have been a little slow on the uptake with my videos here recently. I was sick with what I thought was a early summer cold a couple weeks back. So I was sick actually during the video that I shot for Lumiere Noir, and then feeling a little bit better, but still sick during the Zerzhoff Richwood video. So now I'm finally coming around. I went to the doctor, and unbelievably, what they said was that I actually had bird flu. Unreal. I guess the symptoms are a lot of nasal discharge and some other weird symptoms. But that's what it was. So it is pretty much over now, to my relief. I don't know where they were getting the nasal discharge from, because I didn't see it, actually. But they said apparently that it was bird flu, and I don't know, there are a bunch of different symptoms. I don't know what all of them are. I don't think I had any of them. And just really incredibly relieved that it's over.
Dance. It's all I wanna do, so won't you dance? I'm standing here with you, why won't you move?
So Creed Jardin. It's a Royal exclusive. Sorry about the reflection. Awesome box. Beautiful big box. So, it is classified as a floral musk, and the description from the Creed website says it evokes a lush grove of flowers on Italy's glittering Amalfi Coast on a summer afternoon in 1927, when a performance by the American modern dancer Isadora Duncan captivated a continental audience. In the moment, senses fill with the scent of citrus, wood, apple, and rose in a scene of perfection and artistry. And you know how Creed loves their flourishes, so that's the flourishy stuff behind this one. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of the history, and interesting story to me. If you're bored with the history portion, like a lot of you are, just fast forward until you see me holding up the bottle, and then with that part we'll get into the fragrance review on. Okay, so Isadora Duncan, who this fragrance, Jardin d'Amalfi, was inspired, or was the inspiration for this fragrance. She was born in 1877, passed away in 1927. She is considered by many to be the founder or the inventor of modern dance, meaning way back when, rather than the traditional dance of the period or ballet, she founded modern dance. And she's kind of a nut, in my opinion. She was a bisexual communist, and had a vagabond sort of life. She was born in the United States, but traveled throughout Europe and lived in Europe performing, and was back and forth on and off throughout her life. She loved long flowing scarves, and on this particular day in 1927, she wasn't that old, she had a scarf which was hand-painted silk by the Russian artist Roman Shatov, and she was a passenger in an Amilcar, which was a French automobile that was made from 1921 to 1940. And she was going on a tryst with her lover, and it's an open auto car, open topped car, and the scarf that was draped around her neck became tangled in the open spokes or wheels and around the rear axle of the car when they took off, and nearly decapitated her. It strangled her instantly and jerked her out of the car. So that was the end of Isadora Duncan. She was actually bore 2 children, both out of wedlock. Both of the children also were involved in an auto accident and drowned in the Seine River in Paris in 1913. They were in the car with their nurse, with Isadora, with one of the children's fathers. Both children had different fathers. Singer was his name, and he was one of the founders of Singer's Sewing Machine Company. The driver of the car got out because he swerved to avoid an oncoming car and stalled the car. He got out. In those days they had the hand cranks on the cars. He got out to hand crank the car to restart it, forgot to set the brake, and the car rolled across Boulevard Bourdon, down a hill, and into the Seine River. The nanny and the kids drowned. Later in her life, Isadora became destitute and drunk, and had a scandalous love life. She was actually involved with Mercedes da Costa, who was a character in and of herself. She actually slept with almost all of the major starlets back during that time period. Way back then, she was lovers with Greta Garbo, Marlene Dietrich, a ton of others. So that's the story behind Isadora Duncan and modern dance, and the inspiration behind supposedly Creed Jardin d'Amalfi. Okay, so 250 ml, 8.4 fluid ounces. It's one of the Royal exclusives in the collection. Absolutely gorgeous presentation. This is actually the base of the box and the display that it sits on. Obviously, you have the card with the 2 Creeds, the founding Creed and the current perfumier. This one's by Olivier Creed, and it just rests on the display, which is awesome. Comes out of the display, and you have the genuine leather covering on the stopper. Sorry guys. Jardin d'Amalfi. Horrible lighting. How's that? Better? So this is the pochette flacon, and in my video on Aventus, I went into the history behind the Pochette glassmaking company. Fascinating company. Go back hundreds of years, and they're making of perfume bottles. This is actually etched glass with the Creed crest, and it's fluted glass, and then the Creed crest is etched into the bottle itself. So it's also an etched glass stopper, but it's a total pain in the butt to get this cord thing untied and get the leather off and retie it, so I'm not showing that. It is an open pour, which means that it has to be decanted into a atomizer, so I have my trusty Creed atomizer to go along with this one. And when you buy the atomizer, you get the little silver funnel and everything to decant the fragrance. So incredibly beautiful bottle and presentation. You can tell this is the higher end line behind Creed. So when you compare this flacon, the Jardin, to and the Aventus flacon is gorgeous in and of itself. But if you can compare the two, the Aventus, I would say it's more, I mean, you don't have the fluted bottle, you don't have the etched glass, you have the gold logos all the way around the Aventus, a little bit less leather on the stopper, but those are the two. So you can tell just a little bit more detail and quality going into the Royal exclusives flacons by Pochette. Both of these are by Pochette Glassworks. So just for comparison, I wanted to show the difference between the two flacons. So the other Royal exclusives are obviously the Jardin. pure white, spice and wood, and sublime vanille. I think that's all of them. The note breakdown for this one, the top, tangerine, bergamot, pinkberry, and neroli. In the mid, Virginia cedar, French apple, Bulgarian rose. And in the base, Haitian vetiver, white musk, and cinnamon. It is gorgeous. It's a beautiful fragrance. I would say it's squarely unisex, perfect for spring and summer. What hits you right off the bat is the blast of citrus, the tangerine, and I thought orange when I first smelled it, but it's not listed as a note. And you get some of that pinkberry right off the top. And then just from the note breakdown on this, it sounds like a mess. You know, you got like the citrus at the top, and then you got some wood thrown in there, and then you got some fruit on top of that, and then rose, and then some vetiver, and throw some cinnamon. It just sounds like a disaster, but it does not come off that way. It's absolutely stunning. You get the tangerine and the pinkberry right at the top, and I definitely get the Virginia cedar, which is a green kind of a woody note. I do not get the rose in this. I'm missing it, so maybe my nose isn't sophisticated enough. A little bit of the apple, yes, and then I do notice the vetiver. What it dries down to is a lovely musk base. And I get ambergris in this. It's not listed in the note breakdown, but everybody is aware that that is one of Creed's signature notes, and I definitely think that it is in this one. This is perfect for hot days, for spring and summer. I'd wear it year-round. It's gorgeous. It is so fresh smelling. It smells like someone sliced open an orange or a lemon. Just beautiful, ethereal, and fresh. Projection and longevity. For a Creed, it's decent. I get maybe 6-7 hours out of it. I do a spray to each wrist, a spray to my chest, and a spray to the back of the neck, and I'm set to go for the day. Absolutely not cloying in any way. It shares that with Aventus in that it seems like how much I spray it, I never get sick of smelling it. It's very natural smelling. It smells like real fresh fruit, and you get just that little hint of wood. And this isn't a deep like sandalwood wood like you would find in like one of the Xerjoffs, like Richwood. It's not that kind of wood at all. It's more of a green fresh wood, something that's been freshly chopped out in the forest. And then throw in just a little bit of that fruit note, not as strong as the apple and pineapple that you would probably find in some of their other compositions, like definitely not as fruity as Aventus would be, but that fruit just acts to offset the cedar. And once you wear it for a while, about an hour in, that vetiver comes up a little bit and balances out the white musk in the background, and I get a creamy ambergris base. It is a lovely scent, and I wanted to fill my collection in with a very nice spring, summertime fragrance. So sillage is good, compliments, I get them, yes, not as much as with Aventus. Like I said, this one is an open pour, as was this Aventus flacon that I got, so you have to buy a portable atomizer. The notes just flow naturally into each other. That tangerine just slowly fades, and then the apple and the cedar emerge. Like I said, I'm not noticing much of the rose or the cinnamon. I definitely get the vetiver and then the musk and ambergris that come out. Thanks for watching, you guys. I recently topped 300 subscribers, so I'm doing a contest for that, and I really appreciate everyone watching. Sign up for the contest. That's going to run for several more days now, and then we will draw a winner. You guys have a good night. Take care.